Galactic High Council has been watching and nurturing the miracle of life and consciousness arising along the Orion Spur. The great solar beings with their vortices of light and wheels of fire have been cultivating their individual planetary systems to allow an awakened soul consciousness to arise on them in physical form. And it has arisen on star after star throughout the Milky Way. What a wonder to behold! Conscious beings arising across the network of stars and planets, even on moons and asteroids, in all the 12 dimensions of space-time. And here, on the blue-green jewel we call Gaia, the world is teeming with life and sentience. But recently, the High Council has noticed some anomalies in the auric field emanating from Gaia. The Council scientists have traced this back to specific DNA modifications engineered by the Anunnaki and introduced into the genetic substream on Gaia millions of years ago. When the High Council looked deeper into the Akasha, they discovered a previously unnoticed divergence from the normal sentient evolutionary track along the Orion Spur. It was determined that it originated from the incomplete genome fusion of chromosomes 2A and 2B, a procedure which left loose threads and unresolved telomere strands around the fusion point. Now, millions of Earth years later, this divergent evolution of the 46 chromosentients on Gaia have created a unique set of karmic consequences that could affect not only themselves, but the rest of the sentient planets along the Orion Spur. This brings us to today's Celestial Court of Justice, where the fate of humanity will be decided. Proceedings are about to commence. Let's listen in.
All rise. We are here in the case of Dominion Axis versus Andromeda Prime. Please be seated.
Welcome, advocates, witnesses, jury participants, and all the illumined beings across the Orion Spur. Welcome to this court of justice. A day of judgment has arrived for the 46 chromohominids living on Sol's beautiful planet Gaia. These physically evolved beings, known to themselves as Homo sapiens, have created circumstances on Gaia, including extensive planetary destruction, that have serious consequences for themselves, as well as the various sentient cultures along the Orion Spur. What has brought us to this point? Let us start by reviewing the recent scientific data on genome development along the Orion Spur, and particularly on Gaia. I have asked Dr. Felonius Socturius from Saturn University's Europa campus to bring us up to speed on this history. I believe that Dr. Arcturus is already at his lectern.
Thank you, Judge Ramona. Let me pick up the evolutionary trail of the 46 chromosentients at the point where the chimpanzee and the bonobo DNA had evolved as far as it could around 8 or 9 million years ago. When the Anunnaki modified the bonobo DNA, fusing chromosomes 2A and 2B together, it resulted in the development of the Homo erectus, who, with 46 chromosomes instead of the primate 48, could stand on two legs. Long after the Anunnaki had come and gone on Gaia, the Arcturians, tasked by the High Council to upgrade the 46 chromo genome, made a second modification to the existing humanoid DNA at gene 7. These significantly include the whole series of HAR modifications affecting the size of the skull and the neocortex. Here we have the emergence of Homo sapiens, the story of Adam and Eve. Inserting the FOXP2 override, which led to a fully developed and finely tuned physical body capable of becoming a three-dimensional vehicle for the emergent soul consciousness, which led directly to the historic civilizations in Atlantis before the last Gaian Ice Age. But recently, some very serious concerns have surfaced regarding the original modifications made by the Anunnaki to the bonobo chromosome 2 specifically. It has been fully documented through numerous studies that these modifications left unresolved telomere strands at their cellular fusion point. Similar floating telomere strands were not found in other sentient species across the Orion spur. Some say that it was intentional, with the original bonobos engineered as a work crew to harvest gold for the Anunnaki starships. I, myself, think they were simply sloppy during the genetic fusion procedure and quite literally didn't tie up loose ends. Nobody noticed the incremental deviations on Gaia from the normal sentient evolution occurring elsewhere along the Orion spur until very recently. Judge Harmon, I hope that quickly summarizes the millions of years of genome history on Gaia and gives you the background information you need for your court. Are there any questions?
I have a question. Are there any other worlds along the Orion spur experiencing the same issues with their DNA evolution similar to what is happening here?
As I said, we have not seen this anomaly elsewhere. There was a different anomaly in the Sol system on Mars quite a few million years ago, which resulted in the destruction of the Martian civilization there. All other evolutionary streams coded for sentience seem to be processing correctly.
Thank you, Dr. Arcturus, for bringing us up to speed on the background science behind the current situation that is before the court. The question has to be asked. How could the High Council not have noticed this anomaly before? There are no accidents. And yet, here we all are now, all these millions of years later, and because of this apparent oversight, we are confronted with a twofold problem resulting directly from these Anunnaki interventions. The first problem is that humans who are comprised of 46 chromosomes and are also sentient are now on the cusp of overseers of Gaia. They're accused of reckless and wanton destruction of the planet that they are destined to preserve. Humanity is on the precipice of filling Gaia's auric field with enough toxicity to destroy most of life on Earth. This is the first problem. The second problem arises with their imminent physical presence in the wider galactic family. There is likelihood that the 46 chromosentients will bring their toxic shadow with them as they move onto the Orion spur and the greater Milky Way. These are two very serious and worrisome problems. And it comes down to this basic question before the court. Should the original 46 chromohominids on Gaia be allowed to continue to evolve and possibly threaten Gaia and other planets? Or should the High Council withdraw their active participation in the affairs of these hominids and just allow them to naturally de-evolve and eventually disappear? And that is the choice before us. This is why we have gathered here in this cosmic courtroom. Judgment Day has arrived. Let me introduce two advocates to our jury and celestial guests. Varnock of the Dominion Axis, advocating for dissolution and reclamation. And Zalari of Andromeda Prime, advocating for preservation and forgiveness. Varnock. Varnock, please begin by introducing yourself and your purpose in being here today.
Is this thing on? I am Varnock. My purpose in being here is to advocate for the dissolution of the 46 chromosentients inhabiting Gaia, in order to preserve the other worlds for evolutionary development already established along the Orion Spur. As chief advocate for the Dominion Matrix, it is my duty to preserve and protect those evolving species and ensure that no harm befalls them. The 46 chromosentients on Gaia are a clear and present danger.
Judge, I object. They are not a clear and present danger because there are no grounds for this line of testimony.
Overruled, Zalari. Varnock, please continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. As I was saying, we cannot allow them to bring their toxic mix of greed and hatred that are poisoning the Earth and the wider cosmic family. Or perhaps we can allow an asteroid to obliterate the sky like we did 65 billion years ago, when the dinosaurs were making it pretty tough for hominids to survive and evolve. We will show that this species, the 46 chromosentient Homo sapiens, with their now infamous floating telomeres and propensity for violence, are a clear and present danger to Gaia and all other sentient beings awakening right now along the Orion Spur.
Thank you, Advocate Varnock. Advocate Zalari, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have visited many planets in my capacity as an advocate for the High Council. The evolution of species and the harmonious development of a cultured society are present everywhere along the Orion Spur. But the 46 chromosentients on Gaia are a rare and special thread in the evolutionary framework. They manifest personal and transcendental love in ways that those of us on the High Council rarely ever see. I myself have spent several incarnations on Gaia as an ordinary person. The pain, the joy, the complex network of emotions, the ability to experience consciousness in physical form, and to experience love. These are transformative beyond any words or action. But beyond the remarkable experience, when the 46 chromosentients on Gaia focus on their spiritual transformation, They opened the door to a higher plane through their search. We will present decisive arguments showing that the beneficial contributions of the 46 chromosentients make a difference in Gaia. The wider cosmos may also benefit, despite perhaps because of the botched Anunnaki experiment millions of years ago. And like you said earlier, Your Honor, there are no accidents. Thank you.
Thank you, Advocate Solari.
Wasn't I great?
Order!
I object.
Order!
I object, Your Honor. He cannot kiss up to the courtroom.
Overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The audience before me, you, the eternal jury, shall bear witness and remember. What we do here today will resonate across the cosmic timelines and become part of the Akashic record for this singularity. We pray to all the great beings for guidance, insight, and reckoning. We will determine if the High Council should continue to support this evolutionary branch or allow them to follow the dinosaurs into oblivion. We have been tasked with assisting and participating in the evolution of the universe. Thank you, advocates. We will take a brief recess and we will return for your opening statements. Advocate Varnick, you may proceed with your opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. This inquiry is timely. The 46 Chromo sapiens currently occupying Gaia represent a direct threat to the well-being of the entire galaxy. They are a failed experiment, much like the Neanderthals before them. Despite their fused chromosome and alterations to gene 7, which were, by the way, granting superior intelligence and physical capability, think about that. They consistently manifest war, cruelty, and habitat destruction. Research presented by Dr. Arcturus, it's simple. It stated that the floating telomeres on the Anunnaki fused chromosome created a perpetual psychic irritation. This chronic sense of incompleteness in their hominid mind trapped these sentients in suffering and dissatisfaction. I'm not here to destroy all humans. I'm here to save the entire universe. All the other evolving hominids elsewhere in the galaxy live in harmony with oneness and source. Humanity does not. Up until now, they haven't cared for their own planet. Releasing them into the greater cosmos would make them a voracious contagion, leaving toxic wastelands and war across the Orion Spur. We cannot let this happen. Whether the Anunnaki intended for this flaw or it arose by accident is irrelevant. These 46 chromosentients have chosen greed and recklessness over unity and awakening. Their destructive trajectory is now so entrenched, Your Honor, that the other Nassian species on Gaia, such as the dolphins, they're collateral damage. I therefore advocate for the termination of the hominid project right here on Gaia, not through an asteroid or a cataclysm, but by simply withdrawing High Council support. Left to their own devices, steeped in power, hate, jealousy, and remorselessness, they will inevitably poison themselves and vanish from the evolutionary record, just like the Neanderthals before them. They have written their own fate. Thank you.
Thank you, Advocate Varnock.
You're welcome.
Very sobering. And now, let us hear from Advocate Zalari.
Thank you, Your Honor. I guess Your Honor and the court by now understands Varnock's closed, hard approach to reality and destruction.
I object.
You will stick to your subject, Zalari.
Thank you, Your Honor. I advocate for allowing the 46 Homo sapien evolution to continue. They are a kind and hardworking species trying to get grounded in a bipolar, dual-based world, and this task is quite difficult. Maybe it's the floating telomeres. Maybe it's the Anunnaki had compromised intentions. Maybe. But these disputed genome sequences are merely a challenge for the 46 chromosentients, not the determination of their evolutionary impulse. They're a good species. They're doing good work and making progress, growing in their own consciousness and their soul bodies. With ongoing help of the High Council, they will be able to eradicate the impediments that have moved forward on their path toward awakening their consciousness and cosmic exploration. Those incarnating souls who are being drawn into this hominid body on Gaia are coming in as inspired torchbearers, dedicated to the personal and planetary transformation. We were all once them, remember? They will overcome the propensity for greed and violence embedded in their cellular bodies, just as we just like and have all of us have grown. I'm asking for time, Your Honor. Let them to continue to be nurtured by a spirit. In time, they will awaken, and the special destiny of the Homo sapien species will be a miracle for all the universe to see. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Advocate Zalari. Your statements have been entered into the Akashic record. Thank you, advocates. Let's take a short break, and we will be back here 15 Earth seconds. Thank you. Let us proceed to the presentation of your cases. Advocate Varnock, please present the issue for the court. Be clear and state your position succinctly.
Thank you, Judge. I will show significant evidence of the threat that these sentients represent to themselves and to other life forms on Gaia and along the Orion Spur. Please watch the video screens, and I must warn you, Some of these images are horrifying. What more can I say? What if they bring that toxic sludge of greed and hatred to the local planets and star systems? Once they have achieved space travel, they'll be everywhere, polluting the worlds they visit, making catastrophic messes and creating havoc, just like the under-evolved primates that they are.
Thank you, Advocate Varnock. Your argument is on the record. You make the point exceedingly well, the possibility that these misguided and diluted 46 chromosentients can spread chaos and ruin across the star systems should be frightening to all of us.
Preach it.
Advocate Solari, please proceed with your evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor. That was a very disturbing conclusion you drew, and obvious, inevitable. But that's not the whole story, everyone. These sentient beings on Gaia will increase their awareness with our help. Their souls will become more embodied as they become awakened, and the destruction of Varnock's portrait toward a more harmonious planet. They will grow, expand, and develop. Let me share some of the outstanding qualities that these 46 chromosentient beings are capable of achieving on Gaia. I ask the court to see what I see. These 46 chromosentients have access to enormous spiritual potential, and that they stand at the dawn of a great evolutionary leap in sentient consciousness. We must not deny them.
I object, Your Honor. You can't use puppies and unicorns to save humans.
We should not jump so fast to judge the loving nature that is in each of us ourselves.
Overruled. Zolari's argument bears relevance. Thank you, Zolari. Your evidence was very uplifting and inspiring. Your points warrant consideration. I will now consider the totality of what has been presented. This decision will not be made lightly. The matter before us carries consequences beyond this chamber. As we have no further evidence to present, let us proceed with closing arguments. Thank you, advocates, for your deep dive into the 46 chromo evolution on the great planet Gaia. It is tragic that these 46 chromos are destroying their planet, making it unhealthy and unsafe. However, we also recognize the love that many have toward Gaia and how they hold a sacred bond with the planet, its living creatures, and each other. Wait. 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 I am receiving a message from Gaia. She wants to speak out directly on behalf of the 46 chromosentients. She regards them as her children and wants to... Wait. Here she is.
Do not judge my children. Do not threaten them with harm. How dare you, after all this time, after all these millions of years of nurturing, guiding, helping these evolving hominids, you want to dismantle the entire planetary society that we have created? Let me remind you that after the Anunnaki left, I nourished and nurtured these evolving bipeds over these millions of years to prepare their physical bodies with a download and integration of soul consciousness. And now that we are nearly there, you want to disenfranchise my entire population to send them where? To oblivion? These are my children. How dare you? And all this because some uptight nerd from the Dominion Access thinks the leftover floating telomeres from the original Anunnaki modification make my children violent. Are you kidding? My entire world is violent. Violent with volcanoes and tidal waves, violent with cracking tectonic plates and a stampede of 1,000,000 buffalo. My whole body is alive with pulsing and fiery energy. I know what you have seen. You have watched my children abuse my body and poison my art field without compunction. You have heard their wars, their cries, their thoughtlessness. I hope that you have also seen their wonder and their music rising from the ruins. Do not despair for them. I am not dying. My flora and fauna are not dying. My mountains continue to rise majestic to the sky. Humanity is not lost. They are awakening. Through pain, they learn empathy. Through chaos, they learn harmony. I am their mother, and this is what I teach them. I do not seek their perfection, only to prepare them for their awakening and expansion. And when they are fully awakened in the higher consciousness, then my whole body will become alive with that conscious awareness. It is through their spiritual light that I experience the fullness of creation. They make me complete. Do no harm to them.
Thank you, Gaia. We honor the Great Mother. Let her words and her love penetrate to our very core. Thank you, advocates, for your testimonies. Thank you, Gaia, for blessing us with your presence. While the advocates prepare their closing statements, let us sit quietly with each other. Breathe mindfully here in this moment. Be still with the high council of spiritual teachers and the masters and prophets from across the galaxy sitting with us, breathing the same breath, minding the same mind moment. Breathe, everyone, together. Breathe in slowly. Draw the light into your heart and your mind. Hold it. And now exhale. And let your body settle as if Gaia herself were holding you. Now inhale again. And receive. See the suffering that has been shown to us in the courtroom today. the tragedy, and the cruelty. Find the empathy in your heart. Feel the cruel pain. Cry for the children. And now, exhale and breathe out waves of peace, waves of love and healing into your world. Breathe in once more. And as we breathe out, let us send our unified healing energy to the earth and to all the sentient beings living here, and to all the beings on all the planes of existence. We have studied the Akashic record. We have heard the arguments from the advocates. Gaia herself has spoken to us. But we are still left with a very serious and consequential question and are at the edge of a deeper uncertainty. What if, as Advocate Varnick points out, the dark shadow of ignorance is strong enough to overwhelm the young hominid consciousness, even as they are being watched over by the great Mother Gaia? Or can the power of light, of love, and creative expression be enough to reverse the unresolved disposition for malevolence and discord? Can they develop empathy and compassion as they continue on their evolutionary journey? Advocates, please present your closing statements. Advocate Varnick, please begin.
Thank you, Judge Harmona. How'd that breath work out for you? Was that good? Good stuff? It is clear from Dr. Arturia's presentation and common sense observation that the original Anunnaki genome modifications have created a violent species on Gaia, incapable of peacefully awakening to their cosmic destiny. So check this out. The original Anunnaki genetic meddling has turned into a colossal blunder that needs to be rectified. I got a plan. Gaia will be better off without the 46 chromotoxic footprint, and the rest of the Orion spur will be safer without their corruption, the violence, and hatred that is terrorizing other developing life forms. Gaia herself seems to be in a codependent relationship with this demented species, and she can't get out of her own way. She must realize if this habitat destruction continues, she may be sacrificing herself permanently to these parasites abusing her body. Yeah. We can offer to Gaia a new hominid project and code it without the mistakes that the Anunnaki made. Only a short amount of time. Only a short amount of galactic time has passed since this problem has developed. So, let's nip it in the bud. Yeah, before it gets worse. Delay, Your Honor, is dangerous. We must restore order. We must restore balance and harmony on Gaia to protect the other evolving sentient planets along the Orion Spur. Gaia says she will protect, she'll nourish, she'll guide the pitiful 46 chromosentients. It is still our role as stewards and caretakers to protect Gaia, even from herself, if need be. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Advocate Varnock. Please, Advocate Solari, make your closing statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. Don't let the poisonous words of Varnock overwhelm your decision today.
I object. He's kissing up, Your Honor.
He sounds like the old fallen angel story that cohabitated with these Homo sapiens, and he's trying to cover up some mistake he probably made.
I object, Your Honor. You cannot use the Bible.
I will have order in my court. Advocate Solari is speaking, and you will behave in my court.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll have another.
What we need to do is send more avatars, more teachers, more prophets, and more illuminated beings, and sending more messages and more messengers to teach them and to guide them. We have to meet their rising aspirations with spiritual guidance and love. In the wilderness, they will cry. Shall we not listen? We need to bring them to a greater passion for truth than their current passion for greed and hatred. A more perfect humanity is achievable, and we can do this, and we must, and we cannot fail in supporting not only their mental and physical growth, but their spiritual growth. When they finally realize the scope of their soul's potential, when they evolve spiritually conscious fully crystallizes in them, we will be very glad that we allowed the evolutionary experiment to continue, Your Honor, and we will be proud.
Thank you. Advocate Solari, very powerful.
Tell it, girl.
Are there any other witnesses? Speak. Who wants to speak? Find your voice, stand up, and be heard.
There's no hope. They certainly will destroy themselves. I say, let's go. Humans are a danger to Gaia and all its living creatures. We must try again.
No. Help them to thrive and prosper, and to bring light to to Gaia when they're ready.
Thank you, advocates, jury, and participants. Are there any other comments before we proceed with the verdict?
Yes, that guy was a plant.
Advocate Solari, you will soon be seeing a bailiff if you do not start to behave.
Yeah, I think we should.
This is your last warning.
I am Varnock.
Yeah, lock him up, Your Honor.
When the High Council assigned me to this case, I was largely convinced that the best option was starting all over again with a new hominid project on Gaia, hopefully without any floating telomeres. But now, after hearing all of the evidence, I'm not so sure. And after hearing from Gaia herself, I am compelled to reconsider between these two options.
I am Gabriel, Archangel and servant of the Most High. To the great High Council and to all beings gathered here, we extend our love from the angelic realm, where the archangels have gathered together to bring our spiritual light onto the affairs of this court of judgment. While we are not visible in the third dimension of physical reality, the archangels have been continuously watching and nurturing the spiritual evolution of the various sentient worlds arising across the Milky Way. And on some of these worlds I have planted gardens, and it is in those gardens, on those worlds, that I grow souls. A young soul, once born onto the physical plane, is immediately confronted by the conflicted duality of its three-dimensional existence. Free duality of right and wrong, the duality of good and evil, the duality of love and hate, and the stark duality of life and death. This is a harsh, harsh experience for young incarnating souls. It is through these severe and brutal tests that I grow souls across the wide reaches of space and time, through the experience of duality and the choices thus created. But it is only on Gaia, the beautiful blue-green gem, that the heart-wrenching consequences of that duality impact so deeply onto the incarnating soul. While the angels care for and nurture all incarnated souls on all the worlds across the vast regions of space, Gaia has a special role to play in the spiritual evolution of the cosmos. She is a special training ground for advanced souls. The Anunnaki misadventures were no accident. They were an engineered variation of the normal fusion of chromosomes 2A and 2B to deliberately leave unresolved telomeres at a fusion point where, on all the other worlds where souls incarnate, those pairs are otherwise seamlessly fused. Those unresolved floating telomeres and the irritation they have caused to the normal DNA sequencing have conditioned their exquisite transformation into a spiritually aware species. Incarnating on Gaia is like an advanced course in soul development. Many mature souls seek rebirth on Earth because it is the primary third dimension portal to the fifth dimension. This profound spiritual transformation can only be achieved while incarnated in a physical body in the world of duality. As the doorway to the fifth dimension opens and the awakening 46 chromosentients on Gaia pass through that psychic membrane, a realized energy potential is released back to the core, re-energizing the universe. This is how creation is sustained. I call for all to hear. This is the path to the fifth dimension, the path where opposites are reconciled by a third force, the powerful light of a spiritual consciousness. A profound transformation beckons those spiritual seekers who are ready to complete the secret mission that was begun all those millions of years ago on the plains of the Serengeti. This is what I have come to tell you. This is the song we sing in your ear.
We have been looking at this all wrong. I see now that the choice between allowing or not allowing the 46 chromo evolution to continue is a false choice. The great Archangel Gabriel has shown us that the extreme circumstances on Gaia, from the light of consciousness to the darkness of greed and hatred, are designed as a training ground for spiritual evolution. Earth is the crucible. A larger vision beyond the duality of good and evil, even beyond life and death, emerges before us. A vision of a fully embodied, awake, and aware sentient species living conscious lives on Gaia while adapting the impossible limitations of the third dimension as a springboard to the higher planes of existence. There is no verdict here. There is only the gift. A third path opens for the 46 chromo sentients on Gaia, a path to ascension. Let us transform the world with the consciousness of light, the force of truth, and the power of love. The choice to live in the galactic consciousness is now yours. This court is adjourned.
Breathe.
Heard there was a secret chord David played and it pleased the Lord, but he don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major left, a baffled king composing. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah,
Christine, come here. Christine, get the stage. Hold on, everybody, hold on. Quicksilver, get up here. Quicksilver, get your butt up here. Where you at? Where you at, young man? Get up here. Christine, come here. Everybody, big round of applause to our director, Christine Augustine, and the writer, Mr. Robert Q. Quicksilver. You know, I do want to say this. We worked on this all year. We had so many dress rehearsals, so many read-throughs, and doing all of this together. We put a lot into this. And this is a family. We did it. Damn it, we got through it. Robert, real quick, what inspired you to write this?
The Judgment card in the tarot deck.
That's it? That's enough, isn't it? That's enough. That's enough. And so this is David O. Selznick's daughter, right here from Paramount Studios. Directing, how was it?
Oh my gosh, with talent like this, it was amazing, so easy. It's like I didn't do anything.
She sounds suspiciously like Gaia, doesn't she? You guys, thank you so much. We had so much fun. Okay. Debbie Dashinger, Daniel Brinkley, Christine Augustine, Robert Quicksilver. I'm the bad guy, Jimmy Church. I had so much fun doing this. Everybody, 2026 Conscious Life Expo. Thank you so much.